to get on here, bro, because I just heard the biggest sack of shit of Rich Paul and Max Kellerman, who actually sold his soul to Clutch Sports. Max Kellerman was talking about Michael Jordan will average in today's era 40 points and a triple double. You know what I'm saying? And he was explaining to Rich Paul why he thinks Michael Jordan will average 40 and a triple double. And he gave him an example when Jordan played a whole year, you know what I'm saying, a season playing, he averaged 30 to 31 points, 9 rebounds, and almost 8 or 9 assists when he was put into the forward position. Oh, now, Rich Paul had the audacity to say, this shit don't make no fucking sense, dog. Rich Paul had the audacity to say that some people sometimes say shit that even Michael Jordan will hear and won't even believe it himself. This is who Rich Paul is. He is protecting LeBron James so bad that he said that even Michael Jordan won't even believe what Max Kellerman just said about him in today's era reaching 40 points and a triple-double through the whole season. Max Kellerman was explaining to him. Let me explain to you, and he gave the percentages of Michael Jordan, you know, in a season or a couple seasons where his average picked up when he was shooting three-pointers, because Michael Jordan wasn't really a three-point shooter. Through his career, he only shot like, 2 or 3 pointers per game? But as he got older, his percentage went up. Almost 40%, 41% in three-pointers. While Rich Paul sat there and said, Michael Jordan wasn't a good three-point shooter. Of course, his game, his mentality wasn't on shooting three-pointers. He wanted to shoot in the perimeter, go in the paint. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to eliminate you, embarrass you, and humiliate you. That was his game plan. That was Michael Jordan throughout his whole career. But Rich Paul sat there and said, Michael Jordan is my guy, and me and him have a good relationship. When the fuck have we ever seen Michael Jordan and Rich Paul together? Boy, and Rich Paul is a motherfucker. This dude literally sat in his fucking bobcast and said, Michael Jordan is my guy, and me and him have a great relationship. But Max, what you're saying about Jordan scoring 40 points and average a triple-double in today's era, even Michael Jordan won't believe it. What? But for you to sit there and say that you and Michael Jordan have a great relationship, where? Where's the evidence? Where's the proof of that? And that's why I say, you need to pay very close attention of these motherfuckers that make up these stories, bro. Man, I bet you Michael Jordan and Rich Paul don't even chill, don't vibe, they don't even talk. But just for him to just get mainstream audiences and get fucking subscribers or whatever the fuck it is, this dude will say anything in his power. Let me tell you something. James Harden and a couple of others, like Max Kellerman was explaining to Rich Paul. Because Rich Paul was saying that in today's era, that nobody would have let Michael Jordan score and average a bigger percentage in three-pointers in today's era, because they will guard him and play defense harder of what it was at that time when Jordan was playing. First of all, Max Kellerman is correct. They did it with James Harden, and James Harden in no way, in shape or form, is better or had a better bag than Michael Jordan periodically. But Rich Paul sat there with a straight face and said, almost slipped out of his motherfucking mouth. Man, give somebody else a chance. But he didn't say it in that way. He said that in today's era, the young ones that wanted the respect and demanded respect would have guarded Micheal to a point where Micheal would have been garbage from the three-point line and even from the perimeter. It comes to show you how much garbage and bullshit these people sell. And they fucking show needs to be canceled because they selling people lies. At least Max Kellerman, who actually sold his soul to fucking Clutch Sports, he defended Michael Jordan and he said, Michael Jordan in today's era will score 40 points and average triple doubles like the Joker, Nikola Jokic, and all them boys who now it's a common thing to average triple doubles. But Rich Paul sat there with a fucking, oh my God, I can't believe that dude. He actually said that him and Michael Jordan have a good relationship. Where? Show it to me. I need to see evidence and proof. Listen. Who is going to guard Michael Jordan in today's era? Who? Who is going to guard Michael Jordan in today's era? Who was good enough and who is good enough in today's era to guard Michael Jordan? I'll wait. What player will stop Michael Jordan from averaging 35 to 40 points like Dennis Rodman said? Or Max Kellerman said? Or everybody else that, you know what I'm saying, defends the fact that Michael Jordan will eliminate this NBA today's era. But Rich Paul, to defend his boy, to glaze his boy, to glaze him with donuts of a package, he will definitely sit there and lie. When the fuck have we ever seen Michael Jordan and Rich Paul together? This dude literally sat there in his show and said that him and Michael Jordan got a good relationship. Where? Look, I'm going to tell you something. And for him to sit there and say that Michael Jordan was garbage and three-pointers, of course, Michael Jordan only took 2 or 3 shots of three-point shots throughout his career. But he got better throughout his career. And he shot roughly a 37 to a 41% to LeBron James, 42 or 43% from three-point. Now LeBron is shooting 30% from the three-point line. 30%. That is disgusting. But Rich Paul sitting out here talking about, me and Michael Jordan got a great relationship. Bruh, I almost fell off my chair when I heard Rich Paul say that him and Michael Jordan got a good relationship. And then to disrespect Michael Jordan and say, man, some of the things that people be saying, I know Michael Jordan be hearing it and he don't even believe it himself. So you telling me in today's era, Rich Paul, that Michael Jordan would have scored 40 points and average triple doubles like it ain't nothing? That's what you telling me? You telling me that he can't play with the players of today? That he won't fit in perfectly? Damn, dog. What the world has come to when it comes to this Rich Paul dude, man. And Max Kellerman was defending the fact and giving an example to Rich Paul how Michael Jordan would be that effective with his efficiency and just the way that he gets down when he played basketball, how in this era that is so soft and so much of bitch baby cries, Jordan will score 40 and average triple doubles like it wasn't nothing. But guess what? Rich Paul said, man, ain't nobody gonna let Michael Jordan in today's era just score three-pointers and score from the perimeter mid-range shots. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna let him escalate to a percentage of shooting better than three-pointers. And Max Kellerman said, if Michael Jordan in today's era, by the way that they play now, that they shoot more three-pointers than ever before, let's say Michael Jordan was was playing in today's era, and he will shoot 8 to 12 3-pointers a game. Do you know how much that elevates Michael Jordan's game from his mid-range shooting and also driving to the paint and also shooting 3-pointers? Michael Jordan will average 40 and having triple doubles with no problem. And Rich Paul decided to go against it. No, you talking crazy, Maxwell. No, Maxwell, that ain't even like that. I mean, I know people be saying things that even Michael Jordan don't believe. Listen, bro, we're talking about a 6-time NBA Finals champion, 6-time Finals MVP, 5 times regular season MVP, and the accolades are off the fucking chain. LeBron James or anybody in today's league can never match up to Michael Jordan's accolades and fucking excellence. Nobody. But Rich Paul want to sit here and play hate on Michael Jordan and then say that him and Michael Jordan got a good relationship, that's his guy. And he almost slipped and told Max Kellerman, man, won't you give somebody else a chance? But he didn't say it. He's like, man, all right, man, Michael's my guy, you know. We know that Michael Jordan, he did everything like nobody else did. Now you changing the narrative. Now you changing the perspective. And that's exactly why I know deep inside that Rich Paul is full of shit. Show me evidence and proof that you and Michael Jordan got a good relationship. Do an interview with Michael Jordan, Rich Paul, since you said in your podcast that you and Michael Jordan got a good relationship and that's your guy. But you sit there and disrespect him like no tomorrow. Show me that evidence and proof. I want to see it. And as I can see, there's a lot of guys out there that look at your podcast and say, where is this dude talking like this? Why is this dude disrespecting the GOAT like this? Why is this dude is sitting there and actually selling lies, knowing that he don't even believe the lies that he be telling people? And that's exactly why Rich Paul and Max Kellerman's show is not going to last too long. The antics and just the fucking narratives and perspectives that they put in on their broadcast, it's not going to run too much. The narratives and the rewrite history is going to end badly, and it's going to end humiliatingly and embarrass them both, and they're going to be canceled. Watch when I tell you this shit. It's fucking amazing to me that basketball players don't actually, or even legends, don't go to this motherfucker show and broadcast and put them in their shit for disrespecting Michael Jordan like this and even Kobe Bryant. Because that's the both players that show disrespects the most. Rich Paul with Michael Jordan and even Max with fucking Kobe Bryant. And now he's doing it with fucking Luka. Where is LeBron James in all this? Huh? So losing is a fucking fanatic thing to talk about now. And for you to say that Michael Jordan won't be able to keep up with players of today because players ain't having that today, that they will guard Michael Jordan to the extent that Michael Jordan won't average a higher percentage of 3-pointers if he was playing in today's era, Michael Jordan will kill these motherfuckers nowadays if it came to him shooting 8 to 12 3-pointers a game if he was playing in this era. Man, Michael Jordan will average 45 points. I'm gonna be real with you. And there's no hand checking. You can't fucking touch a person now. You touch a player, foul. And you can see how LeBron and Luka and other players are fucking looking at the referees every fucking time. So guess what? Players are breeding from that. And they say, since LeBron and Luka are doing that, why can't we do it too? So they also getting addicted to the same shit that LeBron and Luka are sponsoring in every game. It's sad to say, bro. It's sad to say that Rich Paul has the cojones, yes, the balls, to say that him and Michael Jordan have a good relationship. Where? I want to see it. I want you to show me. Show a video. Call Michael Jordan live. See how good of a relationship you and Michael Jordan have. I need to see this for myself. But this is who Rich Paul is, man. He will sell anything. He will put anything down the line when it comes to defending his, his LeBron James king. You know what I'm saying? He will do whatever possible and take whatever measures to fucking downsize Michael Jordan to uplift LeBron James and keep LeBron James in the fucking rotten Rushmore as the greatest of all time. And for him to disrespect Michael the way he did and that Bobcast with Max Kellerman about that Jordan won't even be as good as he was back then, and the players of today will guard him and defend him in a way he won't even pick up triple doubles and shoot more threes and be more sufficient and picking up his percentages and 3-pointers. Wow. What else can I say, dog? What else can I say about Rich Paul, bro? But I just wanted to do this quick video, you know what I'm saying? Because, bro, it's bullshit, bro. It is bullshit what Rich Paul is selling to the people. And people need to realize, and people need to fucking wake up. Rich Paul would do this until LeBron James retires. He will sell anything, say any lie, and he don't even make sense. The fucking quotes that he gives, the perspectives that he gives, he even sees for himself that he's not making no sense at all. That is sad that you have to sit there in your own Bobcast and lie to the people and say, me and Michael Jordan got a great relationship. Show me evidence and proof that you and Michael Jordan got a great relationship. All you do is sit there and try Michael Jordan, disrespect Michael Jordan, down talk Michael Jordan, downsize Michael Jordan to uplift your glazing king, Mr. LeBron James. And all Max Kellerman was saying that Michael Jordan in today's era will average 40 points with triple doubles easily with no problem. And he even explained to you why Michael Jordan will score 40 points or average 40 points with triple doubles. And you stopped him and said, Max, you're talking crazy. People be saying things that I know that Michael Jordan hears, and even Michael Jordan don't believe him. What kind of shit that is, dog? So you literally sat there and said that Michael is your guy, Rich Paul, and that you got a good relationship with Michael Jordan, but you there basically disrespecting Michael Jordan. Don't you think Michael Jordan watches that shit? Don't you think Michael Jordan ain't told what you be saying about him? And for you to say that you have a good relationship with him? Wow, bro. That shit don't add up, man. And that's exactly why I know this show that you and Max Kellerman have is not gonna make it too long. Y'all not gonna be out that long. Y'all not gonna be that successful and achievable to having a successful show, because the narratives and the lies are gonna run out of perspectives. They're gonna run out of fucking paragraphs and sentences, and there's gonna be no excuses that you can say for people to fucking believe you or for you to be believable. Max Kellerman told you exactly how he feels, how Michael Jordan will average 40 points in today's era and even have triple doubles. And he explained to you why. And you still went against your own contradictable lies and narratives and even called Maxwell crazy and said that even Michael Jordan hears people talking like that and he don't even believe it. Wow, bro. You know, I'm just tired of Rich Paul, bro. I'm tired of this guy just opening his mouth. He don't even know what he be talking about. He don't even know what he be saying. But he says it because he wants to defend LeBron James in every angle. Max Kellerman even said, look, you talking about players of today that can guard Michael Jordan and defend Michael Jordan. What happened to James Harden when he did it 1 year? What happened to Russell Westbrook when he did it another year? There's plenty of players that took advantage of that because no handshaking and the defense just lacked. It just went bonkers. Like nobody wants to play defense. Who is going to guard Michael Jordan if he was playing in today's era? Who? And guess what? Rich Paul ain't had no answer. Rich Paul ain't had nothing to say to Max Kellerman. The only thing he told Max Kellerman, man, Michael's my guy. Me and Michael got a great relationship. That's not what Max Kellerman told you. He said that James Harden had a year where he just did whatever he wanted with his opponents and several other players because defense is not played in today's era. And you just sat there and just made a blame on lie that you and Michael Jordan have a great relationship and he's your guy. That was your only comeback to Max Kellerman saying that Michael Jordan would average 40 and have triple doubles. You know what? Rich Paul has a way that he tries to lie, but he can't even lie. He knows everything that comes out of his mouth when it comes to Michael Jordan is straight bullshit. It's just straight fucking hypocrisy. It doesn't make sense. Every time he opens his mouth about Michael Jordan, it's to actually disrespect Michael because he doesn't like Michael. But he says that him and Michael got a great relationship. Show me evidence and proof. If you and Michael are so cool like you said in your podcast, when Max Kellerman was challenging you and telling you and explaining to you that Michael will average 40, show us, show the world, show the basketball world that you and Michael Jordan are cool. Remember how you was talking about bad disrespecting Michael Jordan about the 80s and the crack epidemic and how people from the crack epidemic were the ones that make Michael Jordan's shoes legendary? What else can you say about Michael Jordan that is going to downsize everything of you trying to protect your LeBron James King? And you gonna sit there and say that you and Michael got a great relationship? Y'all, if y'all didn't see that show, that broadcast show of Max Kellerman telling Rich Paul, Michael will score 40 in today's era and average triple doubles, and explain to him why. Michael Jordan back then did not shoot too many threes. His average was 37 to 38%, but he got better during his career and almost shot 41 to 42%. LeBron James, now in his career, is shooting 30% from the three-point line in today's era. And for Rich Paul to sit there and say, man, these young guys, they ain't gonna let Michael Jordan drive to the paint. They ain't gonna let Michael Jordan shoot no threes. What you think? That they just gonna let Michael Jordan? They're gonna look at Michael Jordan and say, man, there's a new sheriff in town. We ain't gonna let you get away with what you did back then. What? Do Rich Paul know what comes out of his mouth? Do Rich Paul knows that the stupidity that comes out of his mouth is not even to even have a conversation with? This is how dumb Rich Paul is. And for you to sit there and say, oh, Michael's my guy. Me and him have a great relationship. I remember James Harden had a fucking career so fucking astonishing beautifully. No player was guarding him when he shot the threes, when he shot the mid-range perimeters, when he went into the paint. I mean, he obliterated every player. Russell Westbrook, when he averaged them triple-double games in that season. You know what I'm saying? And there's other players in today's era, and LeBron James Pete, that actually did that. And no defense was played. Why? Because today's defense is weak. Today defense, you can't compare it to the 80s and 90s defense. Ain't no way in hell. So for Rich Paul to say that the young ones of today will guard Michael Jordan, will defend Michael Jordan, won't let Michael Jordan shoot no threes. Do you know how physical the 80s and 90s was compared to today's soft, baby, boo-boo crying, referee checking, no hand checking ass fucking NBA? Nah, man. It just don't make no sense. And I know Rich Paul is out there biting his motherfucking hands and his knuckles because he's defending his boy. If he don't defend LeBron is going to let his ass go. But he already knows he has to do that to keep it going, to keep the narratives changing, to lie for LeBron James, to keep the LeBron James fans and stands alive, to give them hope, give them some type of, you know what I'm saying, uplift motivation, knowing that he's lying. We all know that Rich Paul didn't mean what he said on that show. How you gonna sit there and say that you and Michael Jordan got a great relationship? I want to see evidence, bruh. Whoever's watching this video and that's it, I mean this live, and it's a content creator, y'all please do a video and ask Rich Paul. If you got a great relationship with Michael Jordan and he's your guy, show evidence and proof. Because that's exactly what he told Max Kellerman on this podcast that I'm doing a live about Max Kellerman telling him that Michael Jordan in today's era and also his 3-point percentages will elevate and escalate, and he will average 40 with triple doubles. And Rich Paul downsized it, disrespected, and even said, I know Michael Jordan, even hearing shit like that, he don't even believe it. But Michael Jordan is your guy? I want content creators to do a video to ask Rich Paul if Michael Jordan is your guy. If you have a relationship with Michael Jordan, show evidence, show proof. Try to interview Michael Jordan. Have an interview with Michael Jordan. Or through your podcast, call Michael Jordan and see how good of a relationship you have with him. I want to see. I want to know. I literally want to know. Because the bullshit that's coming out of your mouth, I know that Stevie Wonder can't even see through your bullshit. That's how sad it is. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know that the show is not going to last too long. The narratives and lies are running out of perspectives, like I said before. There is no way. There's no transition. And Max Kellerman is actually standing on tippy toes, standing on eggshells by defending Michael Jordan. It's something that Rich Paul knows that Max Kellerman can do. At least Max Kellerman is saying the truth about Michael Jordan. I'll give him that. But lately, Max Kellerman has been talking shit about Luka and about other players. And it's not even putting LeBron in the conversation, knowing that LeBron James has ruined the NBA like no other athlete in fucking history of the NBA. But since he has that broadcast and he's getting paid bonuses and an extra commission to defend LeBron and not talk about him in a negative way, all Rich Paul does is just sit back and stay quiet and watch fucking Max Kellerman look stupid as fuck, just like Rich Paul looks stupid as fuck when he talks about Michael Jordan and he makes no sense. Listen, Mr. Rich Paul, we know what you're doing, sir. It's not working with us, dog. And for you to sit there once again, dog, I almost fell out my chair when I heard it. This fool said that him and Michael Jordan have a good relationship, that's his guy. I need to know. I need to know how good y'all relationship is, bro. If yours and Michael Jordan's relationship is good, why you disrespect Michael Jordan, Rich Paul? If you and Michael Jordan relationship is so nice and so well respected, like you said in your broadcast to Max Kellerman, why is it that every chance you get, you disrespect Michael Jordan to motivate and uplift your fucking king LeBron James? If you and Michael Jordan have such a beautiful relationship like you said, why the fuck Michael Jordan hasn't had an interview with you? Why can't you call him on the phone? Why can't you tell him, what's up, Mike? What they do, bruh? Hey, Mike, tell the whole world that me and you cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody think that I be disrespecting you and trying. You just disrespected this man on your live. And you want to sit there and talk about, yeah, me and Michael Jordan got a great relationship. That's my guy. Man, bruh, stop the cap, bruh. And that's what I'm saying. This dude will say anything and make no sense at all. I don't think Rich Paul knows basketball at all. I think he just say shit just to say shit, just to say it. Ain't no way in hell you're gonna sit there and actually say that James Harden and a couple of other players like Russell Westbrook and a couple of others, when they were at their prime and at their peak, that they did not do exactly what Max Kellerman said in his podcast, because players were deciding not to play defense, were deciding not to guard James Harden or Russell Westbrook at that prime of their season, when they fucking elevated and just took the world by storm. But Rich Paul want to sit there and say, man, all these new cats, this new era, the young ones, they won't let Michael Jordan shoot no threes. They will guard Michael Jordan defensively, and they will dominate him offensively. Michael Jordan won't be who he used to be in today's era. Bruh. But you and Michael Jordan got a great, great relationship, huh? Listen, I know why Michael Jordan don't even emphasize or don't even bother himself with even fucking, you know what I'm saying, running with the narratives or even giving you the time of the day. Because Michael Jordan is busy winning. He just won his third in a row NASCAR fucking winnings. 3 in a row, just like he did when he three-peated with the Bulls, not once, but twice. Has LeBron James ever done that? Has any player in NBA today, in today's ever done that? No. Michael Jordan is busy winning, while your king is busy losing and looking more embarrassing than any NBA player that so-called themselves the GOAT. Explain to me, Rich Paul. Michael Jordan is busy winning NASCAR Indiana 500 championships. This is his third win. LeBron James is losing. The only reason they're winning and they're beating these sorry-ass teams is because of Luka and Austin Reeves. And guess what? All of them three cannot play together. Why? Because all of them are turnover kings. Against the Pelicans, they had 17 or 21 turnovers. Against the Pelicans! Are you fucking serious? Man, this shit don't make no sense, dog. It don't make no sense. 17 to 21 turnovers. Rich Paul, talk to me, brother. You said that's your GOAT. You say that Michael Jordan can't play in today's era and average 40 points like Max Kellerman says and average triple-doubles. Talk to me. Talk to me. Rich Paul, I need you to talk to me. I need you to tell me what the fuck you smoking. Because I need some of it. I need you to tell me what type of shit you on. Because in reality, my brother, you are dead wrong. And saying that you and Michael Jordan have a great relationship. Anybody that's watching my live, do y'all believe that Michael Jordan and Rich Paul have a great relationship like Rich Paul says? If y'all believe that, please put that on my comment, put that on the live. Or, you know what I'm saying, put number 23 on the live section. If y'all believe what Rich Paul said, that him and Michael Jordan got a great relationship and that's his guy. If y'all believe that, please put 23 on the chat right now. Because that's what Rich Paul says and told Max Kellerman. Me and Michael Jordan have a great relationship. That's my guy. Can anybody tell me otherwise? Because I don't believe that shit for nothing. I believe that's some bullshit of all bullshit. And there's no way that I know that Michael Jordan is going to say, yeah, me and Rich Paul, we cool. That's my dog right there. Know what I'm talking about? Man. Hey, bruh, hey, I wish I had a bigger channel so I could reach out to more people. I'm a small content creator, you feel me? But this dude, Rich Paul, said that him and Michael Jordan have a great relationship. But most of the time in your show with Max Kellerman, you spent most of the fucking show disrespecting Michael Jordan. Can anybody tell me, am I confused? Am I hearing shit wrong? Is Rich Paul really living in an illusional fucking dementia, fucking reality? Cause, bruh, for you to say what you just said in your fucking podcast, Rich Paul, it doesn't make any sense, bruh. And all Max Kellerman was telling you that Jordan will average 40 points and average triple doubles in today's era easily. If he was to play in today's era, Jordan will, probably shoot 8 to 12 3-pointers and get adapted to it because that's what they do in today's era. And he will pick up his percentage from 38 to 41% in three-point percentages. It will be higher of what it was back then. Michael Jordan only shot two or three 3-pointers through his season and career when he was playing with the Bulls, because he didn't care about shooting 3-pointers. He didn't care about that. You saw what he did to Clyde Drexler in the 1992 and 1993 NBA Finals, because Clyde Drexler said, man, Jordan is not a better guard than me. He can't shoot no threes. What happened? Jordan had 35 points and 6 3-pointers in the first half. You see, when you tempted Jordan, that's when Jordan was at his best. Jordan loved the competitive side of the sport. You challenged him, you tested him, you talk shit about him. That's when Jordan was even greater when it came to playing basketball. He made coaches, players, organizations look like shit. Look at Van Gundy, the New York Knicks coach, when he said 1 minute Michael Jordan is your best friend, and then the next he's out there trying to kill you. He's a fucking snake. Guess what? He scored 55 points and looked at Van Gundy and said, shut the fuck up. Van Gundy never disrespected Michael Jordan after that game. So you see, Rich Paul, you're talking about a player that was so dominant and so competitive and so eager to go out there every night. Even if he didn't have a good game, his efficiency and the way that he played, he still contributed and helped the team the best way possible. Why? Because he had a coach called Phil Jackson that told him, if you don't play with your team, you will not win championships. When Jordan learned how to play with his team, Scottie Pippen, John Paxson, Steve Kerr, Luke Longley, Ron Harper, Dennis Rodman, Tony Kukoc, and the list goes on and on. Jordan didn't only learn how to win championships. He understood the philosophy of Phil Jackson. He understood the fundamentals, the creativity, and he got better and better the older he got. He retired when his father was murdered. He played baseball. He came back. He lost to the Orlando Magic when he came back in the first round, but won 3 championships after that. And guess what? He was the MVP and the second three-peat when he came back. Kobe Bryant, same mentality with Phil Jackson. That's why Phil Jackson is the greatest head coach to ever coach in the NBA, in NBA history. Because Phil Jackson was a coach. Phil Jackson wasn't there for Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or Shaquille O'Neal or for, Tony Kukoc, Dennis Rodman or Scottie Pippen to love him. No. He had a job to do. And when he saw that Michael Jordan wasn't playing at his best, he took Michael Jordan out the game, gave him a little conversation, and said, play with your team. If you see that your team is not playing to your expectations, take over the game. That was Michael Jordan's mentality. You know what? Let's say I'm losing by 7 or 8. I'm going to bring it back to where it's 0-0. Do y'all understand what I just said? Let's say Jordan and the Bulls was losing by 7 or 8, 10 points. Okay, it's 10-0. Let me go ahead and bring it back to 0-0. And after that, whatever surpasses that, if y'all can't catch up to me, I'm going to embarrass y'all. Look what he did to Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett says a story all the time. So you see, Rich Paul, I don't care what narratives you try to run, but for you to sit there and say that you have a great relationship with Michael Jordan and he's your guy, I need to see evidence and proof about that, bro. I need to see evidence and proof that you and Michael Jordan have a great relationship, like you said in your broadcast, bro. I need to see that evidence and proof, because I believe you full of shit. You full of bullshit. And you'll do whatever it is to keep your show going, which is not going to last too long, my brother. I remember one time, Michael Jordan scored 8 points when he was with the Wizards. He scored 8 points. He played horribly in that game. Doug Collins took him out and said, Jordan, sit out for the game. Michael Jordan looked at him when they got on the bus, you know what I'm saying, before they went into the plane. And he said, look, you did the right thing by taking me out, but I need to know, do you still believe in me? Do you believe that I can still be that competitive of a player? And Doug Collins said, yeah, of course. Michael, that's why I'm here, to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, we help the team. Michael Jordan went on to the next game and scored 51 points, and the following scored 45. That's what heart, determination, and sacrifice, because Michael Jordan got his knees, you know, with ice, his knees had to be fucking slugged out because his knees were fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And you can see in his final games when his knee just gave up. It just gave out. He still got up and ran and played that last game like Kobe Bryant when his ACL, I think, or his knee got fucked up. He scored them last 2 free throws and he walked away with pain. But he walked away like he left everything on the court. But Rich Paul, you sitting there and allowing at your broadcast saying that you have a great relationship with Michael Jordan. I need to see evidence and proof. My peoples who are on the live chat, this dude, Rich Paul, said that Michael Jordan and him have a great relationship and Michael's his guy. When the fuck have I ever seen Rich Paul talk good about Michael Jordan? When have you ever seen Rich Paul respect Michael Jordan and give Michael Jordan the props and the respect that he deserves as the GOAT or as a legend or as a Hall of Famer? Never. So, Rich Paul, since you say you know basketball, do you know that in the second year when Michael Jordan played with the Bulls, he broke his leg? He was out, I think, for half of the season. They still made it to the first round. And they played the Boston Celtics, Mr. Larry Bird, and 4 Hall of Famers. At that time, the Bostons and the Lakers were the shit in the NBA. Michael Jordan didn't even have a team. Michael Jordan scored 63 points. Even though they lost the series, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. Michael Jordan was not going to beat that Larry Bird team. The fucking Celtics were the shit at that time. But Larry Bird said that wasn't Michael Jordan. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. And guess what? He scored 63 points. The following game, he scored 49. The following 38 to 39 39. Come on, Rich Paul. You say you know basketball, right? You say that you and Michael Jordan are good friends, that you have a great relationship. Show me. Show me. I need to see this shit. Because I feel like you just said that shit because you didn't want to push it too far. But every time you get to saying something about Michael Jordan, you find a way to disrespect Michael Jordan. You find a way to downsize to defend LeBron James. So if you do got a good relationship with Michael Jordan, like you said, like you told Max Kellerman, show me proof. Let me see the evidence that you and Michael Jordan have a good relationship, like you said. That is the lamest and the biggest lie I've heard you say in your motherfucking show since you and Max Kellerman came out with y'all broadcasting show. That is the biggest cat I've heard you say ever since you've had that show. So you really telling me? Yeah, man, exactly, man. You know what I'm saying? And thank you for coming in the live. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But this dude came out of his broadcast and literally said that him and Michael Jordan have a good relationship, that Michael is his guy. And seconds later, turned around and said, oh, Michael Jordan is garbage from the three-point line. The young guys of today that will guard Michael Jordan, that will defend Michael Jordan wouldn't even be doing the things that they used to do back then in today's era. Because the young guys of today would have looked at Michael Jordan and say, nah, bro, it's not happening. You just ain't going to get away with what you used to do. Rich Paul, do you know what be coming out of your mouth? Rich Paul has no idea what he be talking about. Rich Paul has no type of intelligence. His intelligence is to protect LeBron James. It's to disrespect Michael Jordan's legacy, to keep LeBron James' legacy alive. Because Rich Paul knows that LeBron James' time has come to an end. Nobody believes Rich Paul, but this is the biggest lie that Rich Paul has said about Michael Jordan. That him and Michael have a great relationship. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want all content creators, please share this video. I want all content creators to do a video of Rich Paul and ask Rich Paul, if you really have a great relationship with Michael Jordan, show us evidence and proof. Do an interview with Michael Jordan. Because I don't think Michael Jordan wants to do an interview with somebody that spends his fucking time talking about him in a disrespectful way. You have disrespected Michael Jordan so much. If Michael Jordan is to see you, I think he'll punch you in your shit. I think Michael Jordan will punch you in your shit. But you know what? That's Rich Paul for your ass. And I got to give it to Max Kellerman, even though he sold his soul to Clutch Sports, even though he talks about other players and Luka and Austin Reeves, but he doesn't talk about LeBron James. Why? Because he has rules and regulations to follow. When you say you're sold to Clutch Sports, there's only so much that you can get away with. There's only so much that you can say. But Rich Paul knows that when it comes to Michael Jordan, he can't really stop anybody from saying Michael Jordan is my GOAT. Michael Jordan is the greatest. The only thing he could do is fight it or debate it or keep saying that LeBron James is the greatest of all time. Because in his mind, he knows that he has to be delusional. He has to live in a matrix world for anybody to think that LeBron James is the GOAT. But says it's LeBron James that is paying him and gave him the Clutch, organization for him to progress, because Rich Paul met LeBron James by selling shit out of the trunk of his car. And they became acquaintances, they became friends, and Rich Paul is this powerful now. I can't believe that an agent has more pull than owners, than presidents, than fucking CEOs. Back then, an agent was an agent. They didn't have this type of pull. But since the game has taken a very different tone, the game has taken a different perspective, the game has become so soft. The game has become about money, business, bag, what you can make, low management, and the list goes on and on and on. That Rich Paul now has the audacity and the disrespect to disrespect Michael Jordan still and say that him and Michael Jordan got a great relationship. I need to see it. I want to know what great relationship you and Michael Jordan have. I need to see if Michael Jordan agrees with you when you say that you and Michael Jordan have a great relationship. I need to see for myself. I need you to do a video, Rich Paul, or do an interview, or call Michael Jordan and just say, hey, Michael, I want you to tell the world that me and you are cool, man, because everybody feels that me and you ain't cool. I believe if Michael Jordan sees you in person, I believe he'll punch you in your shit. I believe that Michael Jordan has and will have no parts of you or even do an interview with you or even want to be next to you because of the way that you have disrespected Michael Jordan to protect your king LeBron James. So I want all my content creators that do NBA content in the NBA to do a video of Rich Paul and say, Rich Paul, if you really do have a relationship with Michael Jordan, do a video, do an interview, and let's see evidence and proof if you and Michael Jordan are really cool. I want to see that for myself. That will make me shut the fuck up if that's the case. But knowing Rich Paul, he'll lie about anything. He will make up anything to defend his king. Haven't y'all noticed that most of the shit that Rich Paul talks about Michael Jordan or even basketball doesn't make any sense? He makes no sense. Everything is irrelevant of what Rich Paul talks about when it comes to basically downsizing what the NBA was in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s to what it is today. He down emphasizes and downplays it and always wants to protect LeBron James. And the one thing that I would never respect from Rich Paul is this Bobcat show that he just did with Max Kellerman. Me and Michael Jordan have a great relationship. Where? Show me. I want to know, Rich Paul. You and Michael really got a great relationship? Damn, Rich Paul, how much more can you lie, bruh? And that's why people like me, Eddie TV, Angry Hoops, 93Z, and so many others, Sports and Fitness Rants, you Common, we are here to keep the truth alive and for narrative and different perspectives, not rewrite history. You understand? When it comes to liars like you, Rich Paul, that's why we're here. And we will forever keep what the NBA stands for alive. We will never disintegrate or disrespect the legendary and the legacy and dynasty of the NBA because you want to sit here and lie like a little bitch. How you gonna sit there, bruh, and lie like that? I can't believe that you sat there and say that you and Michael Jordan have a great relationship, but seconds later turn around and try Michael Jordan. Really? Rich Paul, do you know what comes out of your mouth, bro? Do you know what you be saying? You don't know anything about the NBA. You don't know anything when it comes to the respect of the NBA, when it comes to the respect of those that gave it all, that are legends, legendaries, icons, Hall of Famers. You know nothing about the NBA. But you want to sit there and say that you and Michael Jordan have a good relationship. I need to see that, bro. Can anybody show me evidence and proof of Rich Paul chilling with Michael Jordan? I'll shut the fuck up. Can anybody show me evidence and proof of him and Rich Paul going out to dinner or going to an event together or being seen together? I'll shut the fuck up. I need to see it because I don't see it. But this dude sat there and literally said that him and Michael Jordan have a good relationship. That's what Rich Paul said, y'all. I am going to do lives about this shit every day until Rich Paul shows me evidence and proof that that's the fucking truth. I don't believe anything Rich Paul is saying. I don't believe Rich Paul for nothing. And the reason is because he's lied about Michael Jordan. He's lied about his career. He's lied about who the man Michael Jordan is, what he meant to the Bulls, what he meant to the NBA, that Michael Jordan wouldn't be the man today what he was back then because the game is being played differently, and Michael Jordan would not be scoring the way he did because the young ones of today will stop him and guard him. They weren't going to let him get away with it. Man, Rich Paul has degraded Michael Jordan to a point, and then for him to say that him and Michael Jordan have a good relationship, I need to see evidence and proof, bro. Shut me up. Rich Paul, I want you to shut me up. I want you to show me that you and Michael Jordan really do got a good relationship. I want you to show me so I can shut the fuck up. I want you to show the world, because in reality, this is the biggest lie that you have said. It's the biggest lie. And I gotta agree, and I gotta be real with you. This is the biggest lie that you have said in your show with Max Kellerman. It's the biggest lie. I don't know how much more lies you can say to try to look realistic or try to make yourself look good or to try to make yourself look, you know what I'm saying, valuable, or even not to change the narrative or perspective or narrate or what you're trying to say, which is not fucking believable at all. But to say that you and Michael Jordan have a great relationship, I need to see evidence, dog. I need to see proof. Because I believe if Michael Jordan looks at you, he'll punch you in your shit. Michael Jordan will slap you in your face. And the reason why is because you have disrespected Michael Jordan so much. You don't even talk highly about Michael Jordan. You don't respect Michael Jordan. You don't respect his legacy. You don't respect his career. You don't respect his GOATness. You don't respect anything. But you and Michael Jordan got a great relationship. Oh my goodness, bro. Boy, I tell you, dog. I tell you. And that's why I'm telling everybody, all my contact creators, 93Z, all of y'all, Angry Hoops, I'm talking about everybody. You know what I'm saying? You Common, who else? All my contact, Eddie TV, all my contact creators. Please do a video of Rich Paul saying, if you really do have a good relationship with Michael Jordan, show us evidence and proof, because that's the biggest bullshit Rich Paul has said in his show. Real shit. I can't stand Rich Paul, bro. I can't stand that dude. That is the biggest lie, the biggest cap I ever heard Rich Paul say, bro. And he still disrespects Michael Jordan after he says that. Well, who do Rich Paul think he is, man? Who do Rich Paul think he is? I don't know who he think he is, but I tell you one thing. I know if word gets back at Michael Jordan that he said that, I know Michael Jordan's gonna laugh his ass off. Because I know Rich Paul and Michael Jordan do not have a relationship. Show me evidence and proof, Rich Paul. Because you're lying, Rich Paul. You are definitely lying. And I know Max Kellerman looked at you like, really? You and Michael Jordan got a good relationship? If you and Michael Jordan really do got a good relationship, why you haven't done an interview with Michael, Rich Paul? Why you haven't sat down with Michael Jordan and, you know what I'm saying, express, your gratification or your respect for Michael Jordan? All you've been doing ever since you have came out in your show with Max Kellerman is disrespect Michael Jordan. That's all you done. And that's why I know you full of shit. And I know it. You full of shit, dog. And it doesn't make any sense why you gotta lie so much. But that's who you are, Rich Paul. You love to lie. You love to make up shit. You love to change the narrative and perspective, but you don't even understand what comes out of your mouth. But for you to sit there and say that you and Michael Jordan have a great relationship, that's your guy, I'm going to do videos until you show me evidence and proof. You're going to get tired of me. You're even going to try to shut down my channel. Because in reality, there's nothing respectful that you say about Michael Jordan. You have never been respectful to Michael Jordan. All you've ever done is disrespect Michael Jordan. That's all you do. Your narratives and perspectives about Michael Jordan ain't nothing but disrespects. Ain't nothing but bad, negative aspects and fucking narratives and fucking stories that you talk about Michael Jordan. And all Max Kellerman was saying is that Michael Jordan will score 40 points and average triple doubles in today's era. And he even gave you examples. Remember, back then Michael Jordan didn't shoot a lot of threes. And he had 41% average from three-pointers back then? Because he only shot two 3-pointers per game. Maybe at times, maybe that. But if he played in today's era with 3-pointers being shot so much, Max Kellerman said, imagine Michael Jordan shooting 8 to 12 3-pointers a game because he would have adapted to today's era. Michael Jordan's percentages at 3-pointers would have gone from 37 to 41% to almost maybe 49 to 50%. And he would have averaged 40 points. When he played the forward position, one season, Michael averaged 38 and 8. And he averaged triple doubles in 11 games playing that position because I saw the whole season. And let me tell you something. Rich Paul went against the narrative and said, you know what, Max, you talking crazy right now. I know Michael Jordan be hearing and watching, you know what I'm saying, what people be saying, and I know Michael Jordan don't even be believing the shit y'all be saying. Michael Jordan don't even believe in that himself. And that's where Rich Paul just shut the fuck up, bro. Just shut up, Rich Paul. Just shut up. Because everything you say about Michael Jordan is negative, it's disrespectful, and you make no sense. But to sit there and say that you and Michael have a great relationship, but then turn around seconds later to disrespect him again? I don't know, bro. I have no idea why Rich Paul is even allowed to have that show with Max Kellerman. And it's not going to last too long. I guarantee you, I give it a couple more months, maybe a year, maybe less. The show will be canceled because Rich Paul's going to run out of excuses. He's going to run out of things to say to defend his king. And people are going to just not watch the show, not believe him, and they're going to start to disrespect Rich Paul, and they're going to demand for the show to be canceled. Remember, the media, when it comes to LeBron James, they run a narrative and a perspective that is downsize everybody, downsize every player, even the great ones that are playing with greatness today, to keep LeBron James alive, to keep his name alive, to keep his perspectives alive, to keep him at the tone, at the top of the Rushmore, so everybody can say that he's the greatest of all time. LeBron James does not want to retire. And Rich Paul, he just setting the example of why you can't bullshit a bullshitter. And what I mean by that is, when you bullshit and you know you lie, you can catch a bullshitter when you used to be one yourself. You feel me? So when Rich Paul talks out of his ass like that, and knowing that he's not saying the truth, I know he's lying like a motherfucker, man. I know he's lying. This dude loves to lie, and I don't understand why. Why would you lie so much like that for? Why would you lie about Michael Jordan like that? And to say that you have a great relationship with Michael Jordan? Wow, bro. Oh, man. But I'm going to go ahead and end this live. You know what I'm saying? I've been in this live for about an hour now. And I want to thank everybody, for the one person that came into the live, and for those that did showed up, you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. But this video was about Rich Paul lying about Michael Jordan, disrespecting Michael Jordan, and also saying why he's disrespecting Michael Jordan, saying that him and Michael Jordan have a great relationship. That's his guy. This has been your boy Chico Black. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Y'all share this video. I will appreciate it so much so it can get out there. I need all my content creators to do a video of Rich Paul saying, if it's true that you and Michael Jordan have a great relationship, Rich Paul, have an interview with Michael. Show us evidence and proof. Because I believe if Michael Jordan sees you in real life, he'll put you in your shit with how much you've disrespected him in the past few years. So if you and Michael Jordan really have a good relationship, a friendly relationship, show us. I want to see that evidence and proof so I can shut the fuck up. Till then, I am never going to believe you, Rich Paul. I am never going to believe a word that you say. But besides that, this is your boy. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate it very much. Y'all go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be dropping more videos like this. I drop videos about everything, you feel me? But I had to drop a video about this. Rich Paul saying that him and Michael Jordan are great friends. They have a great relationship. At the same time, disrespecting Michael Jordan with Max Kellerman. And Max Kellerman did defend Michael Jordan. I'm not going to see him be biased and lie. But that's exactly what Rich Paul does to defend who? Mr. LeBron LaFraud James. This been your boy. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.